In the stillness of the night, something stirs. A flapping of wings, a skittering of paws. It's bats and rats, our subjects for today. In the hushed whispers of darkness, two creatures of the night come alive. The bat, with its dark wings spread wide, takes to the sky, while the rat, with whiskers twitching, scurries along the ground. They are two of nature's most misunderstood creatures, often depicted as harbingers of doom or symbols of fear. But what really lies beneath their nocturnal nature? Bats, the only mammals capable of sustained flight, inhabit every corner of the world, save for some extreme desert and polar environments. Their wings, a marvel of evolution, are actually elongated fingers covered by a thin membrane. Contrary to the popular belief, bats are not blind. In fact, many species have excellent vision. They are, however, most famous for their use of echolocation, a sophisticated navigation system that allows them to fly in complete darkness. Now let's descend from the skies to the ground, to the world of rats. Rats are incredibly adaptable creatures, thriving in diverse landscapes, from urban jungles to rural farmlands. With their sharp senses and quick wits, rats can navigate complex environments with ease. They are social animals, living in large, organized colonies. Yet it's their affinity for human habitation that often puts them at odds with us. Both bats and rats are nocturnal, active during the night. As the sun sets and darkness blankets the earth, they emerge from their roosts and burrows. The bat takes flight in search of food, using its echolocation to catch insects in midair. The rat, on the other hand, scurries about foraging for anything edible. Their nocturnal nature, coupled with their elusive behavior, makes them subjects of intrigue and often fear. Many fear them, but why? As we delve into the darkness, let's uncover the truth behind these creatures of the night. Let's step into their world, a world that thrives in the shadows, a world that comes alive when the rest of us are asleep. Are you ready? Let's dive into the shadows and uncover the truth. As the sun sets, these creatures begin their nightly rituals. Our story tonight begins with the bat, an extraordinary creature who holds the unique distinction of being the only mammal capable of sustained flight. As twilight descends, bats take to the skies in a flurry of wings and whispers on the hunt for their nightly feast. Agile and swift, they dart through the dark, navigating with an uncanny echolocation ability that sets them apart in the animal kingdom. Their diet, mainly consisting of insects, plays a critical role in maintaining the balance of our ecosystems. But let's not forget the bat's nocturnal counterpart, the rat. Often found scurrying in the shadows, rats are creatures of remarkable adaptability and intelligence. They thrive in almost every corner of the world, from the coldest Arctic regions to the bustling cities. Their keen sense of survival is attributed to their ability to eat almost anything, coupled with a rapid reproduction rate. They are social creatures, living in complex hierarchical communities and demonstrating behaviors that hint at empathy and cooperation. Yet despite these fascinating traits, both bats and rats are frequently portrayed in a less than flattering light in popular culture. Bats are often associated with darkness, mystery, and the supernatural, largely due to their nocturnal habits and eerie silhouette against the moonlight. Rats, on the other hand, are seen as symbols of disease and decay, their adaptability and resilience often overlooked in favor of a more sinister image. As we delve into the lives of these creatures, we see a complex dance of survival and adaptation, a testament to the wonders of nature. But as they retreat into the darkness, their image becomes distorted, transformed by our fears and misconceptions. Their behavior is fascinating, yet their image in popular culture is far from favorable. From the caves and sewers they call home to the silver screen, these creatures have become symbols of fear. In the world of horror, bats and rats have been cast as villains, who in reality are more often victims than predators, depicted as harbingers of doom and dread. The answer lies in our primal fears and perception of the unknown. As nocturnal darkness, a realm that has always been associated with danger and uncertainty in human psychology. Their after-dark activities, their unseen movements that rustle in the shadows, these have often been enough to set these bats, with their silent flight and piercing eyes, have been associated with supernatural beings in many cultures. Their portrayal as the favored suckers of lore has only cemented their place in the horror hall of fame. Have been linked with filth, disease, and decay, reminiscent of the plague-ridden eras of the past. Their presence in horror narratives often signals an impending doom or catastrophe. Or historical associations that make bats and rats horror movie favorites, it's also their sheer numbers. Both species are known to live in large colonies or packs, and there's something appearing from nowhere, be it a flurry of bats descending from a cave or a scurry of rats emerging from the sewers. Then there's the element of surprise. Both bats and suddenly, without warning. This unpredictability, this potential for a startling revelation is a key ingredient in the recipe for suspense and scare in horror movies. It's clear that their reputation served. As we delve deeper into the lives of these misunderstood creatures, we might just find that truth is stranger and perhaps less frightening than fiction. Fear is a powerful emotion, and it's often exploited in horror movies. Ever wondered why bats and rats often make an appearance in your favorite spine-chilling flicks? It's no accident. These creatures have been associated with fear and the unknown for centuries. Their unpredictable nature and misunderstood behaviors make them the perfect addition to any horror movie, invoking a sense of dread and unease in viewers. Let's start with bats. These winged creatures of the night have long been symbols of darkness and mystery. Their nocturnal habits, coupled with their silent flight and eerie echolocation calls, make them ideal elements in a horror narrative. Bats are often portrayed as ominous omens or even shape-shifting vampires in many cultures, adding to their fear factor. But in reality, bats are vital for our ecosystem, controlling pests and even pollinating plants. Their portrayal in horror movies is far from their true nature. Moving on to rats, these rodents have a reputation that precedes them. Often associated with filth, disease, and death, rats are a common feature in horror movies. Their ability to survive in the harshest conditions, their rapid reproduction rate, and their often aggressive behavior can be quite unsettling. In the world of movies, a scurrying rat often signals impending danger or an ominous presence. But again, this is a stark contrast to their actual behavior. Rats are highly intelligent creatures, showing empathy and even laughter in studies. So why are these creatures chosen to instill fear in us? It's simple. Horror movies play on our primal fears and uncertainties. Bats and rats, with their misunderstood behaviors and associations with the dark and unknown, perfectly fit the bill. They are used effectively to create an atmosphere of suspense and terror. But remember, they're more than just props in a horror movie, they're characters in their own right. So, what have we learned about our nocturnal neighbors? In the stillness of the night, the dark wings of bats flutter and the whiskers of rats twitch, each playing their unique roles in the grand scheme of nature. Bats, the only mammals capable of sustained flight, are not just fascinating creatures of the night, but also crucial for maintaining the balance of our ecosystems. They are pollinators, seed dispersers, and insect controllers. Rats, on the other hand, are survivors, able to adapt to various environments from city sewers to country fields. They are intelligent, resourceful, and play a significant role in the food chain. Bats and rats, despite their contributions to nature, have been cast as symbols of fear and horror in our movies and folklore. Their nocturnal habits, their appearance, and their misunderstood behaviors have made them the perfect candidates for the role of the monster in our stories. The dark silhouette of a bat against the moonlight or the scurrying of a rat in the shadows can send chills down our spines, not because of what they are, but because of what we perceive them to be. The fear factor, it seems, is not about the creatures themselves, but the unknown, the unseen, and the misunderstood aspects of their existence. The darkness they inhabit is more of a reflection of our fears than their characters. In reality, bats and rats are far from the horror movie villains we make them out to be. They are creatures of survival, living their lives according to the rhythms of nature. They are a part of the shadows, not because they are sinister, but because they are simply adapted to a life away from the light. Next time you see a bat or rat in a horror movie, remember, they're not the villains they're often made out to be. They're simply misunderstood creatures living their lives in the shadows.